Good morning, it's Kale. So, I'm doing a recording today on a website that I was a member of the community. It's really a community more than just a website. It's called Ancient Worlds. So, let me go ahead, I'm going to pull it up. Let's see here. This is a very casual video. It's not meant to be anything like definitive. I just kind of wanted to go over it. Sort of a tribute and a retrospective. I spent many hours here, and it was a happening place back in the day. So it used to be, I believe, on Vines, like before it was even had like its own website. Then something happened there, and then I believe it was AncientWorlds.com, and then now it's AncientWorlds.net. So it's had some iterations over the years due to various reasons. The owner of the site, I think it had to do with either domain issues or licensing issues or something. This new iteration that it's on right now, as AncientWorlds.net, is actually in the process of being rebuilt. So apparently the software that the entire website was written on, created with, it just expired, so to speak. Like, it got to the point where it wasn't even supported by whoever wrote the software. Oh my gosh, I've got my dog. Go lie down. Go lie down. She's just being a pain. Anyhow, so Ancient Worlds is at its core a history community. It's broken into several areas, and you can see them there. There's Rome, Hellas, which is Greece, Greek stuff, Egypt, Mesopotamia, so we're talking Assyria, Babylon, that kind of area, Celtia, the Orient, Germania, Scandinavian stuff, the Americas, which is mostly Middle and South America, like long ago, and then the New Worlds is America and the Americas, but modern day, more modern day. So it is one of the oldest online communities. It's been around for a long time. I believe my earliest incarnation was 1998. So that's a long time to be part of a community and to have that community actually last, especially after social media came with Facebook groups and that kind of thing. So, other places where people could congregate. And back in the day, there were things like, forums and bulletin boards and things like that. And Ancient Worlds is kind of back in the day, so to speak. So it is in the process of being rebuilt. There's still quite a few things broken. Now, since I've been a member of the site for a very long time, a lot of the places that I worked on, as far as like the design and layout and verbiage and things like that, a lot of the graphics are broken. So I'm working with the owner to restore those. And so since he's going to a new system, new software, whatever, coding system to recreate the site, so to speak, I'm not able to do that yet because he hasn't gotten around to like those sections. So I'll go over kind of like how the entire website is broken up, its sections and so forth. And it was offline for quite a while. It kind of just like bit the dust. And then Jod, who's the owner, got it back relaunching. And so it's like the fourth, as it states here on the website, it's the fourth incarnation of the site. So it's been through a lot. Just like all of us in life, it's been through a lot. So it started in 95. So I came in 98. So it was a bulletin board, and it's all the little Romans, the Roman lovers. It was Cybersites Inc. And I kind of vaguely remember it was on Vines, maybe like a temporary place. I don't know why I remember that, but I could be wrong. I'd have to check with Jot. So ancientsites.com was launched. And so you have like instant messages, which was really cool back in the day. You had your own home site. There were groups with, topic interests and things like that. You had a friends list, so you could make people that you met along the way, make them friends, and, you could see who's online and things like that. And it closed down right in 2001 during the dot-com crash. That was really hard because there were a lot of loyal people on the website. And it was our home. It was our home on the internet. And so it was gone. It was like all of a sudden being made homeless. It was awful. So then it says in autumn of 2002, the 100,000 registrants of the community were invited back to ancientworlds.net. And so that went on until 2015. And that's when I think the software that it was being written on, I think it was Web Objects. I think it's an Apple. It's an Apple software. And that's when it shut down again. And he says there were 57 million page views, and there were 16.5 million visitors during this time. It was really crazy. There were a lot of people there. It was fun. So this is how he's got it, going again. I think he's taking new members. I'm not sure. I know that he had invited us back to show us like what he was working on as far as the rebuilding is going on. So I should be signed in. So let me state this first. You can have different personas. So say I have like a Roman persona, and a Greek one, and an Egyptian one, and a Mesopotamian one, and so on and so forth. So I'm like all over this website, just in different like personas. That's what they call them. So right now I'm actually logged in. So I'll usually go to the board central, and this is where you kind of see like the daily, most recent posts. And then you've got on the left, you've got these site-wide boards, and these are related to Ancient Worlds overall. So here's the welcome. This states how many messages there are in that board. So it's all like text-based, and there's, a lot of graphics and stuff, and some people have embedded videos and whatever, but it's not, 3D. Although I think Jot is working on 3D stuff for the site. He was always into that. So here's just general Ancient Worlds discussion. There's development and planning. There's like different celebrations that we had in the different worlds based on like historical events. Say like Saturnalia, the Oriental Chinese New Year, things like that. You can ask for help. The Gems of Ancient Worlds were events that won an award. And like site-wide announcements. We had a series called the Symposion series, where we had an author come in. So kind of a speaker. This was Mary Beard. This was John Mann. This was Dr. Garrett Fagan. This is Jot. He's the owner of the site. Richard Hansen. So they were like different historical minded writers and whatever, Tom Holland, and they would come in and we would talk with them through messages, because this is the only way you could do it back then. And so we had like special speakers. Roll of Honor, I can't remember what that is. There was a cookbook, greatest articles, how to behave on the site, Women's History Month, and I'm not even sure why this Code Junkies workshop is there. It looks like it's probably really old. So here are the most recent posts, and this is Valerius. He's writing about Roman history. Over on the right, you've got the featured. These are the patrons. I'm on there. My name on here is Kaliadair Morna. I also have a Kaliadair Etana. She's a Mesopotamian, and the Morna is a Celtic person. Here's just a little news about supporting the site through Patreon. Here's the chat. which I believe they have like a chat on Sundays at 2 Eastern Standard Time. And then the grams, which are instant messages, he got that working again on the Who's Here panel. And then we had like a little Sewin 2023 event. And he was working on the image gallery because you can upload images. And then he's got an event coming up called the Carpenter's Cup, which is a long-standing event in Ancient Worlds. So you can see here I'm logged in as Kalia Dearmorna. And you can log in as your different personas. And then when you post messages, it comes up as that persona. So let's go over here. And I just want to show you like what one of the messages. So let's see what Velthor is doing. So he's writing this whole long post about the collaborators of Caius Julius Caesar Octavianus. The Romans are hardcore Roman historians. They love it. They're probably like the most hardcore out of the different worlds. So this is kind of the old format, the old style. And I know Jot's working on rewriting that. So here it tells you you're in the Roman world. And then up here are the links to all the other worlds. And this kind of tells you where you are, like the breadcrumb of where you are. And then it says, welcome, Kalia Dearmorna, like I'm here. I can log out from here, news, and how many Romans there are, how many Roman groups there are, 96. How many articles, how many board posts, who's online. I'm the only one online right now. I think people come and go on and off all day long and in the evening. So right now it's just me. There's the chat and there's the sitemap, which I don't believe the sitemap's working. And then if you're a scribe, which is kind of like an administrative person, you volunteer to do that. And you usually cover one of the worlds. And I think I've done all of them except for Rome. Maybe the Americas. I don't know. There's a few I haven't done. Germania. So, yeah, and so there was like a little place where the scribes could chat with each other. So that's kind of how a post looks. And then if you wanted to reply, you could just add a message here. It's very basic, you know, back in the day stuff, like old style stuff. And this is, I believe, why he's, you know, redoing it, because it just doesn't work for the modern age. So let's go ahead and, well, actually, while I'm in there, I don't know if I can get there. Okay, he's got these working. So here's Keltia. We're going to go over there. So up here, there's supposed to be an image, which I made, but it's not there. So yeah, there's things like broken. Here's another one. Another image that's broken. So we're still working to rebuild everything, just the way it is. And so every world kind of has like a little general verbiage about what this world is. Maybe like some awards. Here's some resources, some other boards that it references. The Acta Diurna was the newsletter that a lot of people worked on. And then at the top of the page, it'll say, welcome home to me. I'm the scribe of Keltia, so it'll list me here. And there used to be 3 for each world, for the most part. Maybe some had 2, depending on who was willing to volunteer. But I'm the scribe of Keltia. And the patrons part isn't working, and neither is the best Celt homes. He's probably, that's on his to-do list. So here you can see the newest Celts. So the last time a person signed up with a Keltia persona was back on November 10th. And then you have different families, so it's based on the last name. So I'm a Morna. So there are 245 Mornas. So you can see how many there are: Avernes and Brigantes and the Caledones, the Manax, all the McRoths. So it's, you know, Irish, Scottish, Old England. It's great. Welsh. You can kind of see like which ones are the most popular and so forth. And then here I would put, you know, news of different events and stuff. Like this was winter events. This was summer solstice at Stonehenge. You know, like different things will go in here that the scribe can put in their news going on. So then you've got all the boards, which are just like message boards, here. Kind of a general board, some, events, celebrations. This is writers, history related. These are all the clans and tribes of Celtia, where you can go and get like a family plaque. Probably most of these, they're either broken. I don't know. Let's go see if there's a Morna. So it's sending me to a post. Yeah, so you can, some of them are still there. So they must actually be on the site, I think. No, she's got this, yeah. So you can get like a family plaque, and then you can display that on your home. And I'll show you my homepage in just a little bit. And then you've got social threads where the hood leaders would meet, and pub, people doing Celtic role playing, lots of fun. And then he's got the groups, which are special interest topics, broken up. So there's academic centers, historical, R&R, and role play groups. So, there's Bardic College, which is all about bards and poetry. This one here is about Celtic faith, like the Druids. This is herbalism and healing in the ancient worlds and today. So this is mysticism. This one's about sailing. So it didn't necessarily have to just be specifically Celtic. So a lot of the groups are just not even about that. I think I made a group about like astronomy, which is not any particular world. So there are a lot of groups. And then down here at the bottom, this part, we never managed to get this working. There's a link to the staff, and I usually maintain that page, but I don't think it's working right now. Yeah, all the images are broken because I have to re-upload them and make sure all the links are correct. So, Ja and Cornelia are the cyber gods, and then you've got demigods. So these are kind of like main management, kind of middle management, and then all these scribes are like lower management, you could say. So there I am, but none of the images are working, unfortunately. And I don't think I can edit the page yet because he's transferring everything over to the new software, so I can't edit that page and fix all the graphics. And I don't think all those people are back yet either. A lot of people haven't come back after that long break. They just haven't come back. Either they got older. I know that one of my best friends on the site, he was so much fun to role play with and compete in different events that we would have online. He actually passed away, which was really sad. But everybody's gotten older, and the site has been around for a long time, so that's to be expected. But it's still sad. So let's go over to my house. So you have your own home. And why is my background not showing? I have a background, but it is not showing. Oh, there's some images that are broken. They shouldn't be. I just fixed those. I'll have to go back and fix them again. So you can have an avatar. And I was changing these all the time, depending on my mood, what was going on. This shows me to be a scribe. I'm a patron. I think I got Best Home back in 2013. No, I don't know. I think he gave us some sesterces for being a scribe. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. Then you can send me a private message, which comes up just like a little... I don't know. How do you do that? I don't know. I guess you can't send a message to yourself. These are my friends here. And then you can have your own personal journals about whatever you want to write about. I don't think there was a limit on how many you could have. And even though this is not like how a typical person's home looks, and I would have to find one to show you the default setting for how a home looks. Once you were here long enough and you wanted to decorate your home, you would find out how to do that. and you would use, HTML and CSS coding, because a lot of the site has its own like certain CSS classes and so on and so forth, and people figured out how to like edit that and change it. So you've got like an edit button right here. Well, it's not a button, it's just the word, but you could edit this page and this content that's right here in the middle. Well, not this here on the side, but here is what you can edit, and you can edit the copy of the links, blah, blah, blah. You can edit all sorts of things. So this here is your home. And so you have different rooms. Here's the entrance. We're at the entrance. Then you have 3 other rooms and a chat. So you had I think you have the chat if you're a patron. It's been so long. So you can have, but you have 3 other rooms. And you can name them what you want, and so on and so forth. And then over here it tells you how many posts you've done. So like in roleplay, I have 3,000. I've got whatever this is. A lot. I also have a lot on my Kaleidera Etana, the Mesopotamian persona has a lot. This is my image gallery. These are properties. So you could also buy with the sesterces, which is site, site money, currency. So you could buy different properties around all of the worlds, all of ancient worlds. So I've got some in, looks like Wales, and I think the Picklin, that might be in Germania. Anyways, you can buy properties wherever you want, and then you can decorate them how you want. You can do whatever you want with them. They could be different subjects or whatever. And then it'll show you what groups you're a member of. So this Unseemly Court was just a have fun type of group in Keltia. The Curia is for the admin of the site. Ex Libris is about books, book lovers, and then Arachne's Web was for getting information on how to code all this with CSS and HTML and so forth. So you've got your home, you've got groups, and you've got properties. So let me go over to Windsong Manor. And I know why some of these graphics aren't working, because my website's down at the moment. I was actually working on it earlier this moment, and then an error came up, said application error, and the site just went blank. I was like, what the heck? So I've got a message into my tech support, which is my older brother, since he's my web hoster. It's what is going on with my website? So that's why these graphics are broken, now that I think about it. Okay, so I am in Care Lud. Let's go look at that. Okay, so this is a hood. I'll show you that in a second. Well, this is where my home is. So you can have boards. Again, well, this would be a different color, and you would be able to see it because it's got background, but you can have welcomes and introductions. Here I have a gaming room where I was doing some posts about my gaming. And all these other people here have homes. They're virtual homes. I hope everybody understands that. Virtual homes in this one particular area, Carelud. So all these people. And there's 3 different levels of homes based on how many sesterces you paid for it, but they all offer the same thing. There were no limits. It was kind of silly. I guess maybe he just didn't get around to finishing that up. So let me go back over to Keltia, or let's show you what's working, the new worlds. So Rosalind, she's fun. She's the scribe of the new worlds, and I used to be one of the scribes under my Onyx persona. Onyx Sax Coburg. Ooh. That's when I was doing a lot of steampunk role-playing. And, yeah, it looks like she hasn't been able to decorate this either. It's a graphic I made. Okay, so all of the worlds, the individual worlds, are broken up into, and they're called different things. This is like regions, realms. Let's look at the Orient. So this is realms, right? So like the Orient, you've got Tibet, India, Japan, China, Nepal, right? They're very organized. See, they got like decorations here. Some of those graphics are working. If you go to Rome, Rome is crazy. Rome has so many places. I mean, it's just, there's 53 provinces. I think this one with the most. Mesopotamia has 7. No, 8. This is the newest one. It has 8 regions. So they all have like different. Here's Greece. Has 8 city-states. Greek Asia Minor, the islands, the Peloponnese. Egypt has 18, and they call them sepats. So they're called different things. I don't know what exactly to call them because they're all different, but realms or whatever. So like right now, somebody's trying to become the scribe of Egypt, but Jot hasn't gotten around to that. This image up here is broken. This is my stuff. Again, I cannot edit this to fix the images, which is unfortunate because I made it look really cool. So this real cool Egyptian style graphics that I put up there because I used to scribe in Egypt as Nyx. No, as Nuit. Nyx was Greece. So all of these worlds are broken up into kind of upper level regions, and then they go down into lower level regions. So let's go to Celtia. Okay, so let's go, say you go to Albion. Okay, so Albion, it has these different realms. So here they're called regions, so we'll just stick with that for right now. So these regions, there's 4. So it looks like Ireland, Gaul, and the distant realms, which I believe is like more to the east. Here's Albion. Somebody made a map. This is the guy that passed away, MacMorna Niafer. I miss him. And so the scribes or other volunteers would come in and decorate this and put the verbiage up about what is this place. The place we know as Britain has seen human occupation since the early Stone Age. So it just goes back over the history of this region. And then they break it up into its parts. So you've got, Cymru. So there you go. Wales. Somebody put a nice map. I think Mac made the map. No, Amlade made the maps. Really nice. I don't know what software he was using, but it's really, really cool. People put up some pictures, kind of the dragon. And then that area, so you have the region, and then this area, which here in Celtia they call a realm. And then that's broken up further down into settlements. So, say like Inismon, which is pretty cool. It's this area. Somebody made a nice map. MacMorna made the map. And then here I've got 2 homes, 2 properties. I've got an Etana property and a Morna. So I've got Dunsarin and the World Tree. And all these people have properties, little homes here. And then there's articles. There's a Beltane Triple Challenge. This looks about Welsh beer, maybe. Owen, Celtic Starry Skies. Here's a newsletter. Here was a Beltane 2008 treasure hunt. Here's like the residents, little like message boards about this area. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you go like to the Orient and say you go to China. So here's like a little super brief history of China, right? And it's got cut off. So whatever happened with the software, He probably has that verbiage somewhere, or it may have to be like recreated by somebody volunteering. And here's all the articles that somebody put here. So it's got down here at the bottom right an article for China. I don't believe that's working at the moment. And then here's the discussions. Somebody had a dragon boat race, visitor center, somebody had a block party. And then you can go, say, like to Beijing. And here's like all this history about Beijing. And yeah, it's let's look at this article. 10 things to say when you're in India. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, here. Oh, it's in the ACTA. It's in the ACTA. It was a newsletter graphic that somebody posted there. So I don't think it says here who made this. Let's go over to Egypt. Let's go to the White Wall, the land of the pyramid builders. Let's go back. Gotta kind of look around. Throne of Horus. There's my stupid graphics are broken. There is a way that you could put like who designed the hood or whatever. So like, okay. Like this link's not even working. So if you go to Egypt. So let's start. Let's see here. So Egypt, I was these are all the families. There's 49 Egyptian names. Imhotep. So there's my Egypt persona. So I was a scribe. So after you're done doing your scribal term, sometimes it was for a year, sometimes it was 2, sometimes it was 3, depending on if other volunteers were willing to take over your duties. And that was back in 2008 when I did that. So, all these freaking graphics. Oh, I wish my website would come back up. That's really irritating. Like, really super irritating. In the New Worlds, so you go down to the Saxe-Coburgs. And there's my Onyx persona. And I was a scribe. So when you're not a patron, you just have like the regular citizen plaque. Like all these people. I'm going to try and find somebody. Let's see. Let's go back to... I'm going to try and find a default kind of homepage. Let me see. I don't know how... That's sort of plain. Let's look at Rome. Let's just pick somebody. Let's pick this person. Alright, so this is like a default homepage. So you just have a little background. You have some like default images for the rooms. You've got like your image gallery. He doesn't have any properties. It's a new persona. And he's in one group. But it doesn't tell you like... he didn't even log back in after he made this for some reason. Because he's still a daeling. So after you're a daeling, then you become a citizen, and then if you pay the monthly subscription fee, you can be either a the optimum... Oh gosh, I can't even remember. Let me go over here. Yeah, optimum. I think there's one maxima, and whatever millennium is like the top tier. And it just gives you more web space and stuff like that. But he's not done with all that. So that's kind of like how the default home looks once you sign up. So my other rooms, of course you can't see because everything's just broken. But you can have like messages and things like that. I'm trying to think who's been like... fairly active. I know Leah's been around. The Romans have been around. I know that Egypt's still working on getting people back. So I believe he sent out recently, I would say maybe within the last year and a half, emails to everybody he had an email for and said, hey, you know, we're back, we're working on rebuilding the site, blah, blah, blah. And asking people to, you know, come back to the site. So here's the patrons. That part looks like it's actually working. And she's scribing. Yeah, I haven't scribed in Rome before. So they have, so let me go and find, let's go back to the, somebody else came online. We'll come back and look at that in a minute. Let's go to the gems. So you can nominate an event to get this award. Global, oh, that's just talking about it, I think. Here's Celtia, Mesopotamia. I know mine aren't like even remotely like working. So I did this astrology and exhibition. That was 2007. Infinite Goddess, I did that one. I don't even remember what year. The Divinorama hut is like just thrash, like it's just gone. Like it's just gone. It might be in my Etana. I don't know. Let's go take a look. So let's see here. I have them all like in my bookmarks, but I can just get around here. So this is my Mesopotamia persona, which I spent a lot of time with this one because I got invited by one of the other scribes to come scribe here with her. We got along really well. We were really close friends. So I scribed here for quite a while. I don't know, maybe like 3 years. It was a long time before I moved on somewhere else and volunteered somewhere else. So you can see like my Celtia persona has like what, 4 properties, and here I have 12. So you can see I was here like a long time. Like I don't have a lot of homes, but I have like you know, the little homes. I have like palaces. It's like, let me go all out, get palaces. So I have like a gaming one. I did a game one. I think I did one about the stars. Critical mass core. It was just general insanity. Just rebellion. Just critical mass. The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. Just, you know, I was getting crazy. But it was fun. And, you know, you could just do all those sorts of things. I had one in Pieces of 8 is like a pirate. I was being like a pirate. Ahoy, old sea dogs, scallywags, ladies of infamous repute, itinerant voyagers and landlubbers. I be Crystal Killigrew, former Corsair captain of the schooner Bonnie Wench. I welcome you to the Pieces of 8 Tavern here in Port Royal. If your coin is good, then you be a fine guest that we shall treat with gloves of silk. If your coin is of no merit, then out the door with you. Our bouncers hold no mercy in their jaded hearts. We had so much fun here. The role-playing, I mean, look at this. Inigo Montoya, Xena. I mean, it was insane, the amount of role-playing that went on here in different bars, you know, virtual bars and pubs. Here's like my groups. I was in Mesopotamia a lot. I want to see if I can find I believe it was in the New Worlds, but it might be under groups. Look at all these links. Broken graphic. Okay, so here to show you like what you could do here. So it wasn't just about history. So people just started role playing because they were doing history. So it's like, oh, well, we're talking about pirates back in the Caribbean or whatever. Let's role play pirates, or let's role play whatever, right? And so there was a lot of role playing. So this was a role playing group called the Arcanium, and it was kind of steampunk. And this airship, and it had its crew, and they were like, um, they were fighting these people called the Technos because they wanted to eliminate the power of steam and replace it with electricity. And they want to destroy the magic that has resided on this world for ages. They want control. So here are like the crew, right? Here's some other players. And then you have kind of like the lounge where we would just hang out and talk about the story. Resources where you could go find stuff related to steampunk. You could put your character bio. Here's some out of character and brainstorming. The welcomes and intros. So like if you go and look at the character bios, you can just go see everybody wrote their bio. So I had 3. I had Dahlia Dante, Trinity Carson, and Onyx Saxe Coburg. I was the Margravine. And everybody was pretty on board with it. And everybody came up with backgrounds, physical descriptions, personality, like the whole shebang as far as like role playing went. It was hardcore, and it went on for a long time, and it was all over. There was Roman, Greek, Oriental. It wasn't just specifically in one world. It was all over Ancient Worlds, and you'll find it everywhere. It was a big thing on the site. The other one that was really good, let me see here, was so there was a writing. These are groups. So there's a group about writing, or a couple of groups about writing. One about Victoriana, poetry, crafting, the American Revolution, Renaissance, tarot, cats. One about cats was kind of cool. Mythopedia was just about world myths. Music, books. Where is that group? Let me go over here. I don't know if it was in Keltia or in the new worlds. This is role play. There were only 2. I'm trying to remember where somebody put it. So if you go to the main boards, normally there would be like a link where you could like find all the groups, but I don't think that's there. I don't think that's there anymore. Let's see here. There's 48 groups in Keltia. So there were a lot of groups. A lot of role play groups. This one's a salute to Celtic warriors. The Australians. Okay. Celtic spirituality. AW's Anonymous. Oh my gosh, my phone is ringing. Not now. Fairy Ring, We the People. Bad TV. Don't even know. That's somebody's role play. Inverculpa. Maybe I can find it this way. So if I go to New Worlds, let's go to Trinity's house. Does it show it? Yeah. No? There's a different one. She's, well, it's so hard to remember. There were so many. So, Holmes. Maybe that's a good way to find it. All of these links, I mean, you can't see them because it's not showing it, but there's like 20, maybe 20 different 20 different homes. Okay, it's not that one. I know how to find it. So I go to documents. And it's called what is it? Why can't I think about it? Anyways, I'll think about it in a little bit. Yeah, so there's like plenty to do. Like definitely plenty to do. If you go to Rome and you go to their groups, there's 96 Roman groups. It might actually have been in Rome, but I don't see it here. About all sorts of things. I have no idea how somebody made these letters this color in here. This one's about Roman women, or no, for the discussion of women throughout the ages. The Pirates Guild. Oh, it's this one here. Oh, I found it. Okay, so this is another roleplay group called The Legacy. This one was so cool. So it's kind of like a secret society type story. And it was a lot of fun. So there's 4 clans. So you had like the Larks, the Farrar Ashlars, the Victors, and the Arcanes. It was really cool. So I did quite a bit of role play there, and this was my character, Phaedra. So, you know, I would spend time going and looking for my avatar and how I was going to design my house. I was making a lot of graphics, like this graphic here. Not this one, but like, you know, all these little graphics, just constantly like doing stuff. I don't know if any of these other ones are working. And so in the role play, the old bookshop. So I think I was in Arcane. Is that gonna work? Let me see if I can find where's the actual where's the actual role play? I don't know. It looks like maybe it's behind the veil. No, that wouldn't be it. Yeah, it looks like the boards aren't working in here, but I don't know why. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if that's true for all of them. So let's just go look at Arachne's Web, which is where you go and get like all the coding help and so on and so forth, HTML and blah, blah, blah. Let's go look at one of those. There's a bunch of Paint Shop Pro tutorials and Photoshop tutorials, CSS. There was a lot of coding going on back then. Artwork, general code. So this one's working. So it must not be working in some of the groups. I don't know, maybe he hasn't gotten around to fixing those yet. I mean, it's a big place. So you can just imagine there's 111,990 board posts in Rome alone. So I believe it started off with Rome, Hellas, Egypt, and Mesopotamia. And they added Celtia, Germania, and the Orient and Americas, and then the New Worlds. So there's 30 Greek groups and 29,000 posts. Egypt is 32 groups and 35,000 posts. Miso has 33,000 posts and 31 groups. And Keltia has 48 groups and 48,000 posts. You can see like all these like graphics are broken. I know he's working on it. I wish I could help him more. Now that I'm retired, I have the time to be able to help him out, but I don't know what system he's using, like what software or platform he's using to remake the site, so I can't really help him out. Germania is 29,000 posts and 28 groups. In the Orient, 19,000 posts, 31 groups. The Americas, let's see their graphics working. That's cool. That little graphics are working. But I think only the scribe or demigod or the cyber god could edit these world pages. They have 16,000 posts and 20 groups. And see, this isn't really right. It says Incan groups, and it should say America's groups. Like, that's not really correct. I never even noticed that. It's like, really? And the New Worlds is the newest, so it'll have the least. So it's got 1,700 posts and 6 groups. So, I mean, it's got like a lot of different like names and whatever. Like you go to America, my graphics are broken. And here's like I put a little timeline of highlights of American history in here, and some kind of other links, and you know, Otto and I were building this hood. And then here's history articles. Victorian Christmas in Old New York. Beneath the Tale of Rip Van Winkle. Exploring Maryland from Annapolis. A trip down the Hudson River. So here's like, I was adding the states. We were adding the states. Here's Australia. You got New South Wales, the Northern Territory, Van Diemen's Land, Victoria. I don't even remember who was working on this area. Somebody volunteered to do it. The Renaissance era. I don't know if I did that design or if Rosalind did it. That one's kind of there. Russia. You can see it's like just basic. Like nobody's gotten around to working on Russia yet. So it needs verbiage. It needs its main image. It just needs like some help. And then the Victorian era, I had started working on that, as you can tell by the broken graphics and the broken background. You know, here's something about the Rossetti family. Somebody wrote this article. Who did this? Christina Dante. So then you can go click and see like who that is. Looks like Rosalind. You can always tell Rosalind's decorating style. Like you could tell like who was who, kind of, even though they had like a different persona name, like who was doing the decorating, because mine are all pretty similar, and so are Rosalind's. So so you can see she made herself a friend. That's hilarious. But some of these, like she's got 3 properties. If you go to say like I'll close these. Let's see, we're here. Let's do this one. If you go here, let me see how far back this goes. 2007. I did a post here, 2007, in one of my journals. But I wonder, like, these are all the groups I made. Here's like one about crafting. I want a competition for poetry. That was kind of cool. A car going by. It's my astronomy, tarot. Trying to think like what would be, how I would find out, like, I don't know if this works. Let's look at posts. I'm going to click on this and see where it takes me. May not even work. Oh, it does work. I had 1,830 posts in the social. I don't know how he broke them up, but he broke them up somehow. So here's the cash bowl. All right, so I went in February 2023, but I wonder like how. Let's go to the bottom. So 2003, I stopped in. Well, I have no idea what I was writing. What was I writing? Skips happily into the cash bowl for a quick cuppa. Been a long day at work, so much to do till the day reaches its end. I wonder if there's any snacks or dinner ready. So we're all like, we used to come in here and just bullshit with each other all the time. It was a lot of fun. Just messing with people. And so then if I go back, let's see here. So those are social. These are what they consider academic. So I put a video of a AU5 remix. I was doing music. Let's go to the bottom. 2003. Babylonian ritual calendar. Some information I found about that. Because we were doing all sorts of different celebrations there in each world. Had its own, let's go to the role play. Each world had its own celebrations. And they were, hey, get over there. Is it going to work? Oh, are they going to work? No. Why? I don't know. Who knows? But let me go to there it goes. 2006. So I guess it took me a while to decide to do role playing on there. I know that there's let me see if I can find it. West of Eden. So I did some role play here in this group called West of Eden. There's a Midnight at the Oasis. And where's the other one? Where can I find it? There's two there. So you see, like, somebody archived these. But I remember writing a story in here that was pretty funny. And I was writing with this other guy. I didn't really know him, but he volunteered to play in the role play. And, somebody says, hey, I want to write with you all. You're like, okay, cool. And then you just, what are we writing about and what kind of character do you want to play and so on and so forth. And then we would just, start writing and go from, one to the other. So let's say like if you go to groups, let me find one that was really like portals. Okay. So I made it archive because I'm not going to do anything with it because the people I was writing with aren't there. So I had it's kind of like science fiction-y, I guess, the jump station. Then I had like a RP compendium, which was, if you were looking for an RP, you could put like a little post here saying, hey, I'm looking to an RP with somebody. And then I had like Dream Lords, the Star Portal. Oh my gosh. This was kind of like a Stargate type of thing, I guess, that we were doing. And I was playing somebody named Astra. And the guy that I was writing with and the other girl, I think it was 3 or 4 of us. There weren't many. I mean, it was hilarious and it was fun to write her. It just figures. So there's my avatar. So this is one of my Greek Hellas personas. I'm there and in the midst of the whole shebang without time for questions or kicking the colonel's tush. No wonder he wanted me along on the mission, my specialty being utmost silent recon and kick-ass, where and when necessary. Sure, like that was really me. Ah, hilarious. Yeah, it was fun to do that. And I used to like decorate my RP posts, usually like with a little image or small icon or something or whatever, a background or whatever, just to kind of make them stand out. So yeah, it was a little crazy. I'll show you what it looks like. Let's see if it puts it up there. No, it's in a new window. There's a novice here. I don't know who that is, but I'm just like by myself. So anyhow, so that's basically Ancient Worlds. I love this place. It's my home on the internet. I loved it from the moment that I saw it in its first or second incarnation. Whenever I first came across it, when it went down, both times, well, 2 times that I experienced, I was heartbroken. You know, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was logging in here every day for years. I mean, who does that anymore, right? Who has that kind of loyalty to a website? And I was, you know, I wasn't the only one. There were other people logging in, and you made friends with those people. You saw them every day for years, or every other day, or a couple times a week, or whatever. And you knew them, you know, like, hey, how's it going? You know, the scribes, the people who were scribes and volunteered to be scribes were, you know, the most committed because they were helping to run the place and help visitors and show people around and tell people how to do things and how to decorate their home, so on and so forth. And so you got really close with them. There was one guy, he was a scribe in the Orient. I loved him. If I had met him in person, it would be like, you're my best friend. Like, I love you. I don't love you like romantically, but I just love you as a person. He was awesome. His name is Sankira. Loved him. He was great. He had a great sense of humor, and he was always willing to help out. And just other people, V and Roslyn, and so many other people, Mac Morna, Fly Days, Jot, Heraclea, Cornelia, just so all these people, Leia, just Anna Rain, all these people, just, you know, we knew each other. But so much time has gone on, and of course, as the years go by, everybody's gotten older. As a matter of fact, I never even thought that the site would come back after its big, long, you know, absence. And when I got the word, I think it's got a Twitter account that I don't think anybody does anything with. And some of the people are on Facebook and friends with each other on Facebook, because I think that's where quite a few people went after the one breakdown, whatever. And so we could be in track with each other there. And I think somebody said, hey, Ancient Worlds is back up. And I was like, what? Came running over, kind of got around. I could not remember my password because it's been so long. Got back into that, had Jot help me out with that, and got back in, and I've just been helping out. We had, I believe, here at made this new 9 Worlds Inn. It's kind of a place to just come in, say hi, celebrate. It's like a little virtual kind of little bar type place. And, you know, a lot of people have been coming in. See, just January 2024, somebody came in and said Happy New Year. Somebody said season's greetings. People remembering things. You know, it's there's Leah. She's hilarious. So, you know, it's all still there. All the stuff that just goes back. I wonder if, like, let me go back to the bottom here. Threads list bottom. Goes back to Springfest of 2003. So every year there would be a Springfest and then a Goldfest. I think this one... Oh, and there was like an in-person convention in Santa Fe in 2006. Here's a Goldfest. Here's the Decinalia. That was the 10-year. So that was 2007. Right, so that would be 97. So here people were just putting up memories and whatever. Old avatars. There's people talking about it. Yeah. So it's got its history, you know. It's been there a long time. I literally like cannot believe that it's still like there. And it's sad to see it so you know, a lot of like if I could get in there and fix a lot of the graphics because some of these graphics like they were on my server. They were on my server on my hosting site. So I just linked to them, and then when I changed my main website, all those I mean I have the graphics on my hard drive, on my external hard drive, but I just have to re-upload them and then go back and re-link them, fix the links, right? So, you know, that's so time consuming because you've got all these worlds and I have graphics in all those worlds. So, yeah, it's going to be, if he ever gets the site to whatever, I don't even know like what software he's using here because you can kind of tell like the different look. Like here, there's a background. There's like a faint background here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. Maybe. You know, in this different log off and like these icons here, all of this is like the news, like what I call the new style. If you click on the, I don't know if the chat, let me click on the chat. Yeah, that's working. There's the chat. I don't know why there's fireworks going off in the background. He was messing around. It looks like they were chit-chatting January. Oh, she came in and posted something. January 9th, that was yesterday. Somebody saying happy birthday or happy Epiphany, Eve's. Just people leaving messages and saying hi to each other and chit-chatting. I don't think this, like that scribes doesn't work. I think this is where he's going to have like different chats for the different worlds. Like you could click on here and have like, well, I guess that's Keltia chat. Oh, so it's working. You just don't like see the way that the icon, the mouse arrow changes. So it looks like, where does this go back? 2010. It looks like maybe that's when it first. Yeah, it goes back a ways. So 2021, right? So a lot of people are just, you know, trying to kind of slowly make their way back in. At least the people that still are alive. People that still want to be part of this community that's been around for so long. And there's a lot of knowledge here. Just as far as like Rome is crazy. I know I keep referring to that, but these people are like insane. If you go to Roman history, I don't know if it's here. Like their articles, he's busy. Velther, I think he's fairly new. Um, people just into the Roman history, like major big time. Cooking in the ancient world. Um, I don't know what they're talking about. Like, they did this one, the Year of Four Kings. I don't even know how I would go about finding it in Rome because Rome's so big. And then they have this SPQR online something game. I think it's 3D. I think. Not sure. I never did play it. Um, they did this year. Let me see if I see it here. They did like the Year of Four Kings, and it was like one of the most in-depth things I've ever seen somebody do online. That like required like massive research and writing, and it was for. It's not like for their dissertation or their PhD or anything. It was just out of love for the history. Um, it was just astonishing. I would probably have to like search and find out like where that is. But see, you have on that one hand that deep historical um, work that's going on here at the site because it is a history site, right? But then on the other hand, you have like Talk Like a Pirate Day, right? So, and we used to kind of joke about it because a lot of these people on the site were like really, really super smart. And I'm like, I kind of feel dumb compared to them, but they're like just really well educated and just pretty intelligent. And so, but they were also like the wackiest people with the wackiest sense of humor. It's almost like history nerds, but really fun ones to to play around with in a setting that was, the way that people used to communicate, which online, which was through the written word. Like we didn't leave each other video messages and voicemails and so on and so forth. It was all written. Um, Talk Like a Pirate Day. Um, the Orient had, you go to China. Let's see if I can find it. China's observance of the Hungry Ghost Festival. The Year of the Pig. An introduction to Chinese history, Chinese zodiac predictions. I don't know what that is. Who wrote that? Sem. I like her. People just contribute, and she's an Egyptian, and she wrote an article for the Orient. So you weren't limited. So if you signed up as a Celtia person or an Orient person, you weren't limited to that. You could go put articles all over the place. So if you were interested in Chinese history, you could come and write an article for Chinese history, even though you were an Egyptian persona, right? Because nobody cared. It was, share and share alike. It was very egalitarian. And people were free to volunteer, help out. All of these hoods, we call them hoods, in the Orient were created by volunteers. Nobody got paid to make these graphics, write this article. I mean, this little thing right here is cool. Set the boards up, do all the coding to make them look nice. Here's the Philippines, Japan. Yeah, these three ladies right here, they just did just a bang up job in the Orient. It was just astonishing the amount of work that they did in this area of the site. They did a great job. The graphics, everything, was just wonderful. Give them big kudos for that. All these articles. Who is Saraswati? Kali Yuga people. Vedic astronomy. Rebirth revisited. Ashoka the Great. Was that an article? Long article. And this person actually wrote this article. Whose article is it? Lolita. She's the redhead. No, so she wrote this, cited her sources, right? She didn't have to do that. She just did it for the love of the site. And all of this stuff was created by the people who love history, love role playing, love being creative, and love being part of a community where you were accepted for who you were. There was no modern day messaging. There was no SJW. There was no political divide or anything. Like, that just didn't enter into it. Wasn't anything about women's rights or, men being toxic. It was just about history and hanging together, talking about that, and being crazy, having fun, and role playing and making graphics. It's like, okay, well, here you do Korea and I'll do, Malaysia. You make the graphic for it, I'll do the write up. Like, that kind of working together to build this place is like, you can't find that today. And that's a shame. And that's why I really appreciate what Ancient Worlds is and what it's always been, because it's always been that way. Yeah. Wow. I didn't expect to get emotional about that, but wow, I mean, it was my home. I still probably do consider it my home. And as far as like a community, because they know me, there I'm just Kaylee, and they know my craziness. They know what I can do. They know what I've done around the site. They're familiar with my many personas, and they just accept me for the way that I am and have the entire time. So that's Ancient Worlds. It's a really cool place. It's got a lot of things to do. It's not as active as it used to be. But what does that say about us in this time? Like, are people not interested in the past? I guess not. Are people not interested in community? Probably not. At least not in the Twitter X sphere. There's some community type stuff going on in Facebook. I don't really see that in Instagram. It's not that kind of site. You don't really see that in YouTube. Very little. YouTube doesn't have forums where you can write to each other and leave each other messages. It's just not set up that way. Twitch is not like that. Trying to think where else other people hang out. I don't know, maybe in forums here and there scattered around the web, mostly just centered around one topic, maybe with maybe a few side topics, but this place pretty much covered like everything. And if it didn't, you were free to create your own message board or whatever and write about whatever you were interested in. That was the beauty of it. It was had a lot of freedom to do what you wanted to do. I miss Damon. He's so fun. But it looks like he's back. Because that's an updated avatar. Oh, and you get to know like people's avatars. So, yeah, that's Ancient Worlds. It's just got like all sorts of stuff, discussions. This is like it's almost overwhelming. Germania. Let's look at Scandinavia. Yeah, it's So I don't know if it's open for new members. I know the old members are returning, and so I would have to ask Jot if he's got this open to new members. But I think you can just go to like the main. I don't know. I mean, I'm logged in as Kale, so I don't know. I think it's not really here. Let me see. Because he's got the link for Board Central. But he doesn't really mention anything here about new members, right? So if somebody who's curious could come and click on here, let me sign off. Let me see what happens. Sign off. So what happens if you click on join in? Well, it's got my persona name there. I don't know. You'd have to, like, try it out or whatever and see if it's open for people to join in. I'm not really sure. So it's a very special place. Holds a very special place in my heart. And I'm sure that's true for all of the people that were there and hanging out there. If you see this video, come on back. I don't know. Let's figure out something to do there. Or work with Jot to fix all the links and things that are broken. As soon as I have the power or the administrative ability or whatever, all those broken graphics, I'll just go world by world and go, group by group and property by property and fix all the broken graphics that I can fix. I've already done a redesign of Keltia to fix, this graphic and this broken graphic. Like, I have the design. There's a background that goes in here. It's like a dark green, very Celtic. So as soon as I have the ability and the rights or whatever to do that, I'll be fixing things like that. And it'll just start looking better. But I don't know, what the future holds for Ancient Worlds. It's kind of an old style way of interacting with people, and I don't know if younger generations even know what this kind of way of communicating is. They're used to, short tweets and very short attention span. They would have to be able to communicate well, explain themselves, or, interact like, I want to say normally, but you know what I mean. It's its own thing. It's its own way of communicating that is just not really seen. I don't see it in the places that I hang out. Like, if I watch a YouTube chat, very rarely, and they're short, right? So you can't really write long messages. So this is much more long form communication, and it's, sitting at your keyboard and typing. And younger generations don't really have the patience for that I can tell. That's my opinion on it. So, but it's special. And even if you're curious to go read some articles about history, definitely come on in, join in if he's got it open to new members, or just browse around. I think you can browse around. I'm not sure like how deep you can go into the site without being a member. But, you might be able to just browse around and read some board messages and things like that, and just enjoy, what it is. So I know this video has gone on for a while. I just noticed the time. It's 1 hour and 20 minutes, but there's so much in Ancient Worlds, and I wanted to do it justice because it deserves it. It just does. It's always been an awesome place to hang around in. And I appreciate what people have done here to make it a place where you want to come back to day after day, because there's always something new to read, to learn, to interact with other people who have the same interests that you have. It's really, really fascinating. So thanks for watching. I'm going to put my little, I don't know, I'll put some kind of intro or something, little video or whatever on it. I'll probably post this up onto my personal YouTube channel. It's not really gaming related, although there's role playing. And it's not, of course, craft related with my Celestial Realms channel. But like the video, if you stick around and listen to the whole thing. And if you have any questions about Ancient Worlds, just go ahead and leave me a question in the comments. I'll check them and get back to you. And if I can find the answer, I'll find it for you. If I can't, I'll ask Jot. Because I can just leave him a message and he'll get back to me. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you're interested in history, ancient history, if you're interested in being part of a community that's rebuilding itself after many, many years, it's got a long history, a well-respected history, come on in and leave me a comment and let me know, and I'll see you next time in the next video.